you're a small business owner, I know you're always wondering, how do I grow my business more? In this video, I share some great tips with a ton of stuff that'll really help you do exactly that. Check this out. All right, by the end of this video, if you hang with it, I'm going to give you more tips, more advice, more help to grow your small business than you can even imagine. If this is the first time you're watching the videos, hey, I'm Joey and I am on a crusade to help small business owners improve their small biz life. In fact, my personal mission statement is your success is my business. And to further help you, I'm going to make sure that in the description below the video here that I provide you tons of links, tons of stuff that I know will help you grow your small business. So make sure you take a moment and check all those out. And I put out a video just like this, bright and early, every Monday morning, just like this, just to help you out. And I also do it the second and fourth Thursdays of every month. So make sure you never miss one of those by going below the video and click that subscribe button that you find. And don't forget to ding that notification bell so you never miss one. I was asked by the local Chamber of Commerce to present at their monthly meeting, and the focus of the presentation was how to grow your small business with a micro focus on branding and marketing, because I wanted you to know that your job is to get attention. Grant Cardone, I always say that he says that 2 reasons that people don't do business with you is because number 1, they don't know you, and number 2, they don't remember you. So you have to fight every day to gain attention. And in this video that I'm going to show here is exactly how to do that. So watch this video, stay tuned till the end, and I'll be back for some closing comments with you.
All right, thanks guys, I appreciate it. So really, the talk is about branding and marketing your small business. So I call this How Small Business Owners Can Create Success. You know, my dream is that I drive through Calhoun and Liberty County and that every business has a help wanted sign in the business. So that means that you're really busy. Here are some statistics I wanted to start you out with. Number 1 is that of all your customers that you have, the 100% that will leave you, only 4% of those that leave you will tell you why they left. 96% of the ones that leave just leave, and you never know. You just wonder, where did so-and-so go? I haven't seen them in a while. So that's a challenge. The next thing is, here's a good one, is that happy team members make 26% less mistakes in your business. So there's a statistic that you want to focus on. Less mistakes, happy customers. 47% of businesses, so less than half of all businesses, handle their own marketing. And so I'm assuming that some of you in this room are doing your own marketing efforts. So that's an interesting number. I don't know if you guys know, Google this year has done a lot of changes, and one of the things that Google has done is they promote mobile-friendly sites first. So when you go and do a Google search, the sites that are popping up first in that report are mobile-friendly. Now, if you have a website, I would, if you guys are taking notes, I would recommend that you go to mobile-friendly. Just Google mobile friendly, and the first search that come up is Google's mobile friendly test site. Click on that, go to that, and it's real easy. You put your website URL in there and click go test, and it'll come back with a huge report to tell you if you're mobile friendly or not. And it's really important that you're mobile friendly, because one challenge for small businesses is that not many small businesses have mobile apps. Does any small business in here have a mobile app? Anybody? Okay, so everybody here is in that 25% that don't have mobile apps. The other thing that you need to know about mobile searches is that 78% of mobile searches for local businesses result in a purchase. So that's a big deal. And finally, 56% of the folks that get an offer from a mobile app on their phone, the next time they're close to your store, they will stop and make a purchase. So mobile might be something that you guys want to talk about. Now, let me say this before we move forward, is that I hate presentations that are bullet points. So for all you guys that are out there that are panicking, oh my goodness, he's going to talk for 30 minutes on bullet points, this was the only page. Okay? So, all right. So what we all want is for people to shop with us, shop local, shop small. You know, we're hashtagging that thing. Hopefully you are, and using that because you're trying to drive business, but we want people to shop local in our local businesses. So before I ask the question, when you look at this picture, when I look at this, when I saw this, I'm like, man, I have been in 1,000 small businesses in the owner's office, and this is what the office looks like. So that looks so familiar. Does anybody know who this is? Who? No, that's not Jim. Jim, you're famous and didn't know it. Yeah. Okay, so this guy is Jeff Bezos. So we know who he is, right? Richest man in the universe, as far as we know. $99 billion, has Amazon. This was when he started his business in Amazon. So if this office looks like your office, there's hope. Okay? So, but all Jeff did was he had an idea, he had a passion, an idea that he thought would work, and the desire to take the risk to go give it a try, and look what happened. So, if your office looks like this, there is hope. Yeah, but now, what Jeff did was he went and disrupted an entire industry. I remember, and I'm sure if you're a business owner, you remember this too, when Walmart started and came local, it's like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Walmart's going to put us out of business, right? Who says that anymore about Walmart? You never hear that anymore. But you hear somebody saying about Amazon, how do I compete against Amazon? And you know, one day somebody will come along and give Jeff a run for his money. But the thing about it is we've got to stop thinking business as usual, and we need to start thinking, how can I disrupt my own business, even if I'm in a little small rural community? I have to start thinking disruptively, because I cannot do business as usual anymore. Now, a couple of examples of this is, in the past, we used to think that only rich people, celebrities, politicians could have chauffeurs. But you know what? We can do that now. How do we do that? What? Uber. That's right. Uber came along and disrupted the whole industry. Did the taxi industry ever freak out before? They thought they had it wrapped up. They're in a different state of thinking now. Another thing is, and this is from my past history, career, is in the past, if you had a small business, you had to have a fancy phone system, cost a lot of money, it's a lot of installation, something tore up, you had to call somebody to get out and fix it. But now, with your cell phone, your personal cell phone that you carry around with you everywhere, you can connect a separate number to it and have it a business number and have every feature that that phone system provides in your pocket. Nobody knows the difference, by a company called Grasshopper. So Grasshopper came around, disrupted the whole industry. And finally, last example is, in the past, if we wanted to go somewhere and stay, but we wanted to stay somewhere a little nicer, maybe not Motel 6, not that there's anything wrong with them, even though they might leave the light on for us, we would have to find some expensive 5-star hotel, cost us a lot of money. But now, that's disrupted by, who knows the answer? Airbnb, right? So, what we have to do is think creatively in our business. Last year, there was like these 3 terms that really resonated with me, and think creatively was one of the 3. And I was talking to somebody early last year, and it was almost like, well, I'm not an artist, or I don't write poems, and so I don't make music, so I'm not creative. But you can't think that you're not creative anymore. You have to think, how do I stop doing business as usual, like I've been doing, to be uniquely better so that people want to do business with me, because we're in a global economy now. You can't do business as usual, because now if I'm a consumer, I have thousands of people to offer me the product that you do. So first thing that I suggest that you guys do is you got to be your biggest cheerleader. This is key to winning. I heard the story just this morning of a company that did business with another company, and this other company sent them like this big thank you letter, and it was kind of a big deal, and they posted like one picture in social media, and that was their big, here I'm promoting my business. And it was such a great compliment, but they should have been promoting this all along. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. There's a guy named Grant Cardone. I don't know if you guys know Grant Cardone, but this guy is a rock star. If you're not subscribed to this podcast, you really need to subscribe. But Grant Cardone says people don't do business with you for two reasons. Reason number one is I don't know you, and reason number two is I forgot you. Don't ever find yourself in one of those two positions. Be your biggest cheerleader, because if you're not doing it, who else is going to do it? So you got to start the wave going and get everybody else waving with you. All right. So back on the 23rd of this month, I wrote this. This is my calendar. This is my desk calendar at the office, and it's all about having your customers love you. So we're going to spend a minute on that later, but this is another key part that we're going to talk about today. So let's camp out here for just a second. So how do you be your biggest cheerleader? There's a whole bunch of ways. So you can get up with Teresa or Robert and let them help you, work with you on here's my marketing for my paper stuff, because everybody in Calhoun County does some of these, if not all. You can get with Jim. I know Jim's working on these two brand new marketing campaign ideas that he's working that I kind of got a little discussion with him with, and I thought they were genius ideas. I mean, they were really good. So you need to spend time with Jim and talk to him. And then, of course, you on your own have the option for all of these. So by a show of hands, how many people have a Facebook business page? Okay, good deal. All right, by a show of hands, how many people have an Instagram business page? Oh, good stuff. All right, by a show of hands, Twitter business account? Good deal. All right, and Snapchat. That's what I thought. Okay, so I am at a trade show here the beginning of the month, and so I'm posting stuff to social media, and the booth next to us, the guy was like giant tall, so I could see him eye to eye, so that was really cool. So we kind of made friends. So I'm sitting there in the break one time, and I was with Amanda over there, and I said, "Hang on, Amanda, let me get Snapchat open so I can take a picture to post." And the guy says, "What are you, 17?" So that's a great question. So why Snapchat? Nobody has a Snapchat. So here's the thing. In Facebook, as of this morning, there's 2.19 billion people with Facebook accounts. Over the last 30 days, 1 billion people actively logged in to Facebook. 74% of all adults that are on Facebook use it every day. Big numbers, right? So Snapchat doesn't make any sense, right? Well, here's the thing. In the 25 to 30-year-old age group, there are more of that age group on Snapchat than there are on Facebook. So you have to determine who is my market. Who am I marketing to? So you think, well, if 25 and 30-year-olds are not your market, then why do it? But you know what 25 and 30-year-olds do? They grow up to be in your market. And if sales is about building relationships, start now doing that. So don't miss out on an opportunity to be where your clients are. All right, so let's talk about some missed opportunities that as I talk to business owners, here's what I see them missing. All right, the very first one is tent pole marketing. Are you guys familiar with tent pole marketing? So that looks like a tent, right? So tent pole marketing is if I have, here's a question. What is today besides Thursday the 31st? Anybody know? It is World No Tobacco Day. You know what else today is? Today is Save My Hearing Day. And you know what else today is? Today is National Macaroon Day. Right? So, we think sales opportunities are based around, well, Memorial Day was the other day, I had a Memorial Day sale. Here's this other stuff. But if we think look, if you're doing a Memorial Day sale, how many other businesses did Memorial Day sales? 1 million of them, right? So you're drowned in the noise. So that's yes, we need to be there, but did it do you any good? What were your sales? What did your stats look like? But you know what? What if you did what if I'm a restaurant and I did national, what's the cookie name again? Macaroon Day. What if I did that and I built this up in some pre-buzz over the last week or so, and I told people, hey, look, on Thursday the 31st, if you come eat with me, I'll give you 6 cookies for everybody that's sitting with you. How much does it take to make a macaroon cookie? It's nothing. But if I build up this buzz and make this thing a big day and I'm driving 20% more business into my restaurant than I had normally, that's a win. But because what I'm going to do, I'm going to wow them with service so they come back again. So it costs me a little bit, but I'm going to pre-market this stuff all along. I'm going to make a big deal of it. I'm going to think creatively and make the big deal, and I'm going to post. I'm going to work with my marketing. I'm going to get this out the day of the event. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to take video. I'm going to get customers that say, this was great. Hang on a second. Let me get my camera out. Can I stand with you while I film you say this? After the event, on the post-event stuff, you want to be posting out of that. Here's referrals. Here's a new customer. Here's some testimonials. Here's a thank you card I received from some customers. Posting that stuff. So you need to think tent pole marketing when you're marketing your business, and don't stick to just the normal, here's what everybody else does, sales events. Get creative. Yesterday was National Water Your Yard Day. The co-op and the Tractor Supply should have been blowing that up for the last week. All right, Facebook changed the way they did business this year too. Does everybody know that? It has a Facebook page? How many Facebook pages or business pages are showing up in people's news feeds anymore? It's not, is it? That's right. Facebook changed the rules. So all the effort that you put into your Facebook business page, it's still there and there's still opportunities, but man, they hurt the business page stuff. The trick to get around it is create a Facebook private group. So you want to do it private because you want to just, it's like it's an exclusive club. So you create a Facebook private group, you encourage people to join your group, and now you got to give great content in your group. You've got to show some ideas about this is show behind the scenes stuff. What goes on behind the scenes here? So it's like it's an exclusive club, it's an exclusive group, and we're giving people a peek into how we do business. People like that stuff. Business now is building relationships, so people want a relationship with you. So you got to give them reasons to have that relationship. Give them discounts in that for the group. Hey, come in. Show me that you're a member of the Facebook private group, get a 10% extra discount on something. Bring a friend, I give you 15%. Just ideas. Instagram stories is another huge place that I think companies are missing the opportunity on. When you post in your personal Facebook page stuff, now, right before you click, what does it ask you at the bottom? Stories or newsfeed, right? Facebook owns who? Instagram. So they are making stories a huge deal. They want people to post stories, and they are promoting stories. So guys, this is right at the very beginning of this. So there's not a bunch of companies doing this. So if you go in and start doing Instagram stories, 300 million people use Instagram every month. Of that 300 million, 80% of those follow a business. right? So I think I want to be where 300 million people are hanging out. But Instagram stories and Facebook also, they're promoting stories heavily. So if you do stories, Instagram will help push you out to people. So that's a big deal. The next thing is, I think because social media has kind of killed us a little bit, is email marketing. I'm really big on one of the social media networks, and I'm connected with some guys that are really smart and make a lot of money. And these guys make, they have 7, 8, 9-figure annual revenues. And they're telling me that, man, I grew my business from email marketing. When you go into, I don't remember the last department store I was in when we were off somewhere, but you go check out what's your email address. These guys are working the email marketing. So email marketing can be done by small businesses in Calhoun and Liberty County just like it can anywhere else. But you got to figure out, how am I going to grab their email? What value am I giving them in doing this, right? So what can I do to grab their email address? And then you have to figure out your marketing campaign about what am I going to communicate with them. But email marketing is a big deal. It's used a ton by the big companies. And I think as a small business, sometimes we don't always remember that that's an option. The next one is YouTube. So you remember when I said that in Facebook, they had 1 billion active people per month on it? YouTube smokes them. YouTube has 1.8 billion monthly unique users. YouTube is the second largest search engine. Hey, Google owns them, right? How many times do you do a search and here's a whole, I can read this whole article, or I can go watch this 4-minute video. I'm gonna go watch a 4-minute video. I do it all the time. I'm on an Excel spreadsheet all the time. Man, if a dadgum cell stumps me, I go to YouTube to figure out what I've messed up in the formula to get it. So YouTube is huge. 1.8 billion people. You want to be in front of 1.8 billion people. If you have a Gmail account, you already have a YouTube account. Look at implementing YouTube into your marketing efforts, because you can get found. Look, what do you care if somebody from Calhoun County buys your product or somebody from New Hampshire buys your product, right? I don't think we care. I sold something. So get out there so anybody can find you and anybody can find your product. Now there's strategies you have to use in that, but they're easy. And LinkedIn. I think before, Christy, we probably talked about LinkedIn a little bit. I think LinkedIn. How many people have a LinkedIn profile account? Keep your hand up if you have a LinkedIn business account. So LinkedIn. So last week, I was listening to a webinar about some social media stuff, and the guy says they did a survey of the major marketing firms in the United States, and they asked, where are you putting your money in 2018? Well, the majority of it was Facebook, that's a given. But 33% of the people that responded said that the number one place was LinkedIn. In fact, LinkedIn was the second among everybody that didn't pick it first. LinkedIn is huge. I think there's a misconception about LinkedIn, because when it started, it was like, this is where you put your resume, maybe somebody can find you to hire you, but that's not the case anymore. You go read that news feed. It is full of information that will help you grow your business. It doesn't matter, you can find people that do specialize in sales, customer service, marketing, branding. You can learn all kind of stuff there. It gives you the opportunity to put your business there too, and if you post stuff in your business, when you put stuff there, it shows up in news feeds too. So if you're putting it and your business is putting it, I'm in front of people twice. Now, some people say, well, I don't really get LinkedIn. So if business is about building relationships, and in Facebook, when you get up in the morning, what's one of the notifications that you get? Here's birthdays, right? So here's what LinkedIn does. If you're connected to those same people on LinkedIn, you get the notification of the birthday. You get notification of their work anniversary. You get notification of a promotion. You get notifications if they change jobs. I mean, talk about being able to build a relationship with somebody. That's how you can really build. There's more advantages to LinkedIn, but Christy's keeping me on a tight schedule. So I won't go into those, but I can if you want to later. But LinkedIn, I think, is a huge opportunity that small businesses miss. that you could be taking some advantage of. And the biggest one is live streaming. So who knows Salesforce? Biggest CRM software in the entire universe also. Salesforce is huge. So every year, Salesforce has this big to-do. It's called Dreamforce. And at Dreamforce this year, they spent almost the entire conference talking about video. And in fact, Salesforce is going to start implementing your ability to load video into your CRM. So live streaming is huge. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all these offer live stream options. So let's think about this. I've got this event. I'm going to say, I'm going to pick on the guys for a second, so let's use Valentine's Day. We always struggle with what the mess are we going to get, right? So if I'm a business and I'm selling stuff that makes sense for Valentine's, how come I don't I'm on that tent pole on the ramp up, I'm posting out my social media, hey ladies, got a great thing coming up on this date, 6 o'clock, going to do a live stream, check this out. It will benefit you to watch this, right? You got to give them a hook to want to watch. So on the evening of the event, because I'm trying to sell Valentine's stuff, I'm going to get on the video, and maybe it's 10 or 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be an hour-long show, right? But I'm going to say something like, we know that your guys don't know what to get you, but we know we have what you want. You send them up here and let me take care of them. And I will make sure you get the best Valentine's gift, right? And then take the camera and walk around the store and show stuff. We've got this, we've got this, we've got this. Hey, this just came in, it's brand new, we got it just for Valentine's Day. So make it a big deal, make it an event, and then your wife, the spouse, is going to be hey, you got to go get to the store. So live stream events, there's multiple companies now disrupting the email industry, if you can believe that, because now the thing is, I need to put a video in my email. There's a 36% better click rate to emails that include videos than just sending an email out. So video is huge. That's why stories is so big, because they want you to do video stories. And I'm just real quick, you ever go to a website and look at something and then you're on Facebook and that thing shows up in the side? How the mess? Y'all know how that happens? It's called Facebook Pixel. So if I have a website and I have stuff that I sell on my website, I want to implement Facebook Pixel code in my website, tie that back to my Facebook accounts. Now, when somebody's on their Facebook, even though they come to little old ABC Small Business and Alpha, my product will show up on the side of their Facebook page. So I keep my stuff in front of them all the time. So Facebook Pixel is how that happens. And any of you guys that have the Facebook business page, do you have an AI bot that does your messaging help for you? Anybody? So MiniChat is, because the world now is a 24-hour global economy, and I'm open, from this time to this time, and somebody's on my Facebook page at 10 o'clock at night, companies like Mini have these bots that you can chat with, and they'll actually talk to you. And when I get up in the morning to go to work, Mini has sent me, hey, I had a conversation with this person, this is what they're asking, and this is how to get up with them. So, pretty cool, right? All right, I know, Christy, I'm hurrying. If you're taking notes, if you don't take anything else away from here today, is you need to go to Google My Business and make sure your business is properly set up in there. If you're not, guys, look, I'm going to go somewhere, and I'm like, oh, man, I need to call them. Are they still open? Are they going to be there? I need to tell them I'm coming. I'm running late. I get on my phone. I do OK Google. I say, hey, Google, do such and such a business that comes up. There's the phone number. There's the hours. I can click right here and call. It's because all that information is in Google My Business. And you see that middle word I had the arrow pointing to? It's free. All right, so here's a trick for you if you want to kick butt in small business, is go to Google Alerts. This is free too. And Google Alerts will let you put in alerts. So I use it all the time. I have stuff like, sales, customer experience, leadership, stuff like that in there. So whatever's new and happening, I have it set for every week. I get an email and they says, here's the newest stuff in here. Put your name in there. That's really cool, because when something pops up that's got your name, it'll email you. It's like, hey, here's what somebody said about Joey Peacock. Hey, put your competition in there, right? If your competition is the big guys, why not keep up with what they've got going on? So Google Alerts, that's another key. Okay, using tech to grow your business. Okay, HootSuite Buffer, these are places that you can manage your social media posts. HootSuite, I've used everything that's up here. I either have used or personally used. I liked HootSuite because I could go put social media monitoring in there. I could post like, hey, here's the name of the company. Anytime somebody complained about the company, I could go talk to them and fix that problem. And man, you talk about turning customer experience numbers around. That's huge. Buffer, I love Buffer. I use it all the time. I was posting stuff in Buffer this morning. I have stuff posted out to August the 27th in my Buffer account for social media posts. So I spend an hour, I do all this stuff on here, get it posted out. Drift, if you have a web page, Drift is a company that also gives you you ever go to a website and it's got live chat? That's Drift, and companies like it. So Drift is a company. Bitly. In business, you know that the saying is, if I don't measure it, I can't manage it. That's huge. Bitly, if you're posting on social media and you're posting like your web links and you're trying to track, well, look, where are my people at? Are they in Instagram? Or are they in Facebook? Where are they? Are they in Twitter? And Bitly gives you, it's a link shortener, but the cool thing about it is Bitly lets you customize the back part of it. So it'd be like bit.ly, but then you can go put on there the back half, just whatever you wanted to. Okay? And then you might have, hey, I want to post this in Instagram, I want to post this in Twitter, and I want to post this in Facebook, and you can tell who's clicking on what to see where your biggest audience is coming from. So you want to know that stuff. Zoom, oh my goodness, I've used WebEx, I've used GoToMeeting. Zoom beats them all. There's a bunch of businesses I know that are using Zoom. SurveyMonkey. Survey, folks, we're going to talk about that in just a second. Grammarly, in school, I loved history, I loved math. I did not like English. Good thing Ms. Cox isn't in here. She would agree. But Grammarly is a product that will interface in Word and Microsoft stuff, in Gmail, but it helps you write better, right? Oh, Joey, you forgot to put a comma here. Oh, Joey, you put a hyphen, you didn't need it. Oh, Joey, you really spelled that one bad. I don't even know what you're trying to spell. I can't figure it out. But you know what the best thing about all these are? Every stinking one of them. Every one of them. Now, they all have paid versions, but I guarantee you could do everything you need to do with the free version. And what would be really cool if you grew out of that and you had to buy it? Wouldn't that be a great problem to have? So everything's free. Remove the friction. Man, this is another big one that was one of my things last year. What I mean by remove the friction is that you have two customers that you really need to take care of as a small business owner, and that is your customer and your employees, because both of them can make or break your business. So here's some examples of friction that's in small businesses. Number one, your business working hours. If your business is open the exact same time my work hours are, man, I want to do business with you, but man, you're creating me a lot of friction in doing that. So what if you said, hey, you know what, on Thursday night I'm going to stay open an hour later? I would come see you. I know a bunch of people. I've asked around. People say, oh, I would definitely go. Then I can't make it at my lunchtime. So friction for your customers is your working hours. You really need to think about if you can disrupt that and tweak that. Another piece of friction that you have is if you don't take credit cards. On my Facebook, I did, if you're connected with me on Facebook, you see I do like Facebook polls all the time. And one of the questions was, what's your likelihood not to do business with a company that doesn't offer debit or credit cards? And 75% responded that I'm probably not going to do business with them. So that's friction. Another piece of friction is, I hate to say it, but your prices. Well, another one of my surveys that I did was, hey, what turns you off the most, their customer service or their prices? And 75% said the prices, but this is the easy fix. One of my sales guys recently said, we were talking about, hitting your numbers, what's going on with your sales. And the response was, I can't get them to reply to my email. I can't get them to answer the phone. I can't get them to see me when I go drop by. So my response is they see no value in doing that with you. There's no value in it for them. So you have to create value in the relationship. So you can sell whatever you need to sell at whatever price it needs to be, because look, I understand I've got to pay employees, I've got to keep the lights on, I need to get paid occasionally, but I need to sell value first. Simon Sinek, if you've never seen his Golden Circle video, it's like 40 million people have watched it, so I'd be shocked if you haven't, but it's all about selling from why. This is what this does to fix. What is your problem? There's another sales saying that people don't buy drills, they buy holes. I didn't come to buy a drill from you. I need a hole. But you've got the thing that helps me make it happen. So in small business, you've got to figure out what's their problem that they're trying to resolve, what's their need that needs to be met, and sell it from that, and then they probably won't give you as much friction about the cost. And your employees have friction, just like your customers do. And you have to figure out where you remember 26% less mistakes by happy, engaged employees. So the question that I often get asked was, Joey, how do you find out all this information? How do you know where all this friction is? Remember we talked about SurveyMonkey just a minute ago, and that it's free? So what you do is you survey your customers and you ask them questions. You do relational surveys twice a year. Hey, how are we doing? NPS score, several questions like that. You do transactional questions, which you just did business with me, so you ask some questions about how easy was it, right? There's a customer loyalty score that you want to get there. You got to have a base so you can manage what you measure, but SurveyMonkey lets you figure it you do an employee engagement survey to your employees, anonymous, so you get honest, true feedback to figure out where maybe I had some blinders on and I didn't realize there was this problem going on. So that's friction that you got to work on. All right. So Christy said this was the last meeting of the summer, of the year so far, till the summer break ends. So I thought I would give you guys some homework. When my kids were growing up, they screamed about coming home and they had homework. They hated it. And I would tell them, you got it easy now. Homework never ends. It never ends. You're going to have it the rest of your life, and your career homework will be the hardest of it all. So I've got 3 things for you for homework. The first thing is you need to figure out what your magic number is. Now, what does that mean, Joey? Remember earlier when I showed you my little thing I wrote on my calendar? I'm going to make people love me. You need to figure out how many people need to love you, love your business to be successful. There is a number, and you have to figure out what it is. So if I'm a business and I'm in Calhoun County and I think, I need 1,000 people. That's what I need. I've done some math. I need 1,000 people to love me, that would do business with me. Valentine's Day, all these weird little holidays I promote, anniversaries, birthdays, graduations, they're going to come see me for all this stuff. All I need is 1,000. Can you imagine if you had 1,000 customers committed to, I'm going to do business with you. I don't care who else. I don't care who Jeff Bezos is. You're the person I'm going to do business with. So this summer, figure out what your magic number is, because there is a number. And you just have to look. 1,000 people is only 7% of the residents of Calhoun County. Maybe your number is 250. Maybe your number is 3,000. I don't think your number is 14,000, because that's not realistic. But figure out what your magic number is. The next thing that you need to do is you need to figure out what your marketing strategy is going to be for the rest of the year. And then every January you need to plan that for that year and figure out all these special days, all these special events. You need to figure out how I'm going to brand. Every business has a brand. People know you by something. Some of it might not be positive, and you got to figure out what that is to fix that. But you want the majority of it negative. But you've got to be the cheerleader getting that information out there. So work on your marketing strategy for the rest of the year based on what we talked about today. And then last but not least, work on yourself. You need to be you, only better. Because I'm going to tell you, there's too many options now for people to do business, and you want people to see you as the guru, as the You're the most passionate, you're the most knowledgeable. You are the person that they want to do business with. Lee Cockrell, guys might not know him, but he ran like the customer experience at Disney for years. And Lee Cockrell recently said, and I wrote this down and I hang on to it, he says, people don't do better because they don't think about doing better. So you need to work, part of your homework is to be you only better. Subscribe to podcasts. Figure out what your industry is, what your niche is. Subscribe to those podcasts. Do leadership podcasts, sales podcasts, customer service podcasts. Commit to reading a non-fiction business-related book a month. I hate to read, but you know what? You get Audible on your phone, and you have Audible talk you through as you're going through and highlighting the stuff, and it makes it really easy. Spend 30 minutes a night, you can read a book a month. Subscribe, go to YouTube. There is videos galore about your industry, what you do, and what you've got going on that will help you.
All right, if you're still here, thank you so much for hanging with me through all that. I am very interested in your comment about what was your biggest takeaway from the presentation. What is one of the things that really struck you that you know that you immediately need to start implementing in your business? Leave that in the comment below the video here. Also, is there somebody that you know that could really benefit from watching this video, a small business friend of yours that could really utilize some of these tips and tricks and advice? Take a second, right below the video is the share button. It looks just like that. Click on that. It gives you tons of ways to share. Text, Twitter, Facebook Messenger, email, tons of stuff to get them to somebody who could benefit just like you did. So thank you so much for doing that. I'm offering you this. If you click right here, that's a card that is a link to the website. Go there, scroll down to the bottom, and fill out that contact me form. It takes you to a little short survey. I promise it's only 10 questions, including your contact information. Gives me a little heads up of some of the stuff you got going on, so I can call you prepared to help you with your small business. Also, why don't you consider going on Facebook and join the Facebook group. Look for The Small Biz Life. Connect with us on there. Look, it's a group of small businesses just like yourself, of folks that are struggling, that are having success, and we get in there. It's like a lab where we're getting in there and having conversations about how to grow the small business, and it happens throughout the week, so you never miss a thing and you can continue to get help and to grow. I'm going to be there hosting the site, and I look forward to you joining. Hey, mention that you saw it here on this video when you join. That would make me happy too. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am so grateful. A video right here I think will help you out. Make sure you check that out. Think creatively, remove the friction, be uniquely better, and you will win. I'm going to do that this week, and I'll catch you next time. Until then, I'm out of here.